Honestly, this is one of those videos where, I really don't know how to start this. But here is the thing. GTA 3, that is right. This little game right here, yeah, is turning 20 years old today. Greetings gamers and welcome to a very special episode here today on the Retro Raider Show. I mean, I'm starting to feel those, gray hairs coming up. GTA 3 is turning 20 years old today. It's crazy. I mean, this is such a special game. This is a game that it is part of my teenagehood, and it is a game that really made an impact on me, and I bet that it also made a huge impact on you guys, and definitely, without question, that it is a game that made a huge impact on the video game industry, on the video game scene. I am a huge fan of GTA. I still play the GTA games still to this day, and I still look back at these games with a lot of nostalgia. I think that these are games that on its own right, they are really masterpieces, even though they aged a little bit. So of course that I had to make this video as a tribute, as a celebration to the iconic GTA 3. So how am I going to start this? I guess that I'm going to share with you guys my early memories with GTA. And my very first contact with the GTA series was not really the best, because I played the first game, I believe this was way back in '98 more or less, and I didn't have a computer, but I used to go to to friends' houses that had computers, of course, to play computer games. And I remembered that a friend of mine was very excited about a new game that he was playing, and it was the original GTA. He was playing the game with his older brother, and I went there an afternoon after school. I played a little bit of GTA. As a matter of fact, I think that I watched them play more than instead of me playing. And yeah, I don't know, the game didn't appeal to me. Again, this was '98. I didn't have a computer, but I had the PS1, so I was playing games like Crash Bandicoot, Resident Evil, I was playing Tekken, I was playing Tomb Raider, beautiful 3D games, with polygon graphics. Again, this was '98, so this was, the new gen back then. But then, in contrast with GTA, still pixel art, I don't know, first of all, the graphics, the imagery didn't appeal to me at all. And the first GTA games were definitely very different from the GTAs that came after. We had this top view, point of view on the game, then it was a little bit clunky even back then. It was a crime simulator, yes, but to me, honestly, it was more, a driving simulator in a way. It was chaotic, the chaotic theme was there from day one, but I don't know, the first game was really not for me. So I ended up, skipping GTA 2 and GTA London, which I only discovered the game, years after that during the PS2 era. So yeah, I never really cared that much for the first GTA era. And this is how I classify GTA. I think that we had three major eras. The OG era, with the top view, then we have, the early 3D era with GTA 3, and of course we now have GTA 5 with the online scene. But then, in 2001, this game, GTA 3, I mean, this was really the ground zero for everything that we have, not only GTA related, but especially GTA related, of course, Even GTA 5, right? It is based on GTA 3. Even Red Dead 2. A lot of open world video games that we have these days. Not only crime simulator games. Not to count, with all of the clones that we have that we had during this era. But this game, this specific game, GTA 3, was really groundbreaking. So how did I jump into GTA 3? Well, back in the day, again, we had gaming magazines and TV shows. That's how we got the news, that's how we got the reviews, right? So I remember seeing on a gaming magazine about GTA 3. Again, since I was not into GTA back then, I never really cared, right? But then I started noticing the screenshots, the gameplay screenshots. Again, that's what we had. And it caught my attention because it looked like a GTA in a 3D environment. And this was something new in the series. And at the time, late 2000s, early 2001, I was very much into Driver 2. Now, again, Driver series, it's not a series where, I'm a big fan, but I used to play a lot of Driver 2 because, again, the the appealing part for me in that game not only was fully 3D, but in Driver 2, we could get out of the car and just explore the city on foot. And I think that was the bridge. I think that was the bridge that made GTA 3 happen. I totally think that Rockstar grabbed a lot of influences from Driver 2. And now looking back in retrospective, I think that they also grabbed a little bit of influences from the Shenmue series also. I didn't have a Dreamcast, so my contact with Shenmue was nearly none back in the day. But now, again, in retrospective, I totally understand it, and I do think that GTA 3 is a very cool blend of the original GTA themes, but on a Driver 2 environment with a little bit of touch of Shenmue. So, the game was released, and to be fair, I didn't even knew that the game was already out. Again, back then, news didn't travel as fast as they do now. And I was on a vacation with my family. This was early November, I believe, to the beautiful village of Idenha Nova here in Portugal. My best friend lives there. Actually, a lot of friends of mine live there. And when I used to go there as a kid, the first thing that I would do is that I would call my friend, my best friend. His name is Eduardo. I already mentioned him here on the channel. And I was to call him, dude, I already arrived. But this time, this motherfucker didn't answer to me. He just texted me, dude, just come to my place, we're playing video games. And I was like, we're playing video games? Dude, you're not even into video games that much. And he wasn't. He isn't. Grabbed dinner, went to his house. There he was with another good friend of ours, Diogo. And these two assholes, they were playing GTA 3. And I was just, what the fuck? They were playing GTA 3. I didn't know that this game was even out. And I was very, very hyped thanks to those screenshots. So what happened was that this other guy, Diogo, he picked GTA 3. His parents picked GTA 3. And he finished the game and he just landed the game to my friend Eduardo. So during those small vacations, I believe this was, just 1 week more or less, we just spent the whole time playing GTA 3. Now, eventually, I had to come back home to Lisbon. What did Johnny do? Well, I begged my parents for GTA for Christmas. Christmas came and I can't complain, I have the best parents ever. My parents still give me video games for Christmas. It's true nowadays, it is what it is. But they didn't give me GTA 3, they just didn't. I really don't remember what game or games I had that Christmas, but it sure wasn't GTA 3. So to keep the story short, when I went back to school from, after Christmas, after the Christmas holidays, all my friends, almost all my friends had GTA 3, except Johnny. So I saved some money, I did chores, I did a lot of things, and I think it was late January, more or less, I eventually saved enough money, also with a couple of, bills, a couple of money that, my family gave me for Christmas. I eventually saved and bought my own copy of GTA 3. And that was when the fun began. When I first played my copy of GTA 3, the same copy that I still own to this very day. This one right here, this is my actual copy. Of course that I already had played the game, right, from the story that I previously told you guys, but it was such an immersive experience. I spent hundreds of hours on GTA 3. It was not just the story, it was not just the characters, or the gameplay, or the freedom. I mean, again, I think that I played this game at the right time. I was 13, 14, and it was a crime simulator. I mean, this game was violent back then, right? I mean, nowadays we look at GTA 5, I think that we look at least I do. I see a lot of satire in there, a lot of humor, but back then, this game was heavy. It was heavy stuff. Let's not forget that it happened. This game was released not long after 9/11. But for me, it was the first time that I was playing a game with the sensation that the game was almost alive. Again, nowadays we can say that it is a basic game compared with the open world video games that we have these days, and open world RPGs, etc. But back then, this was it, right? Everything that you put it on the game would give you back. you had consequences, right? You were a criminal, that is right, you are a criminal in this game, but there's always this constant vibe, you know, of danger. Then you start making contacts with the mob, you just, you know, you get new houses, you can get new vehicles, a very fair roast of weapons, you know, for back in the day. The whole vibe of the game, you know, the environment, even the soundtrack, it was really a very immersive experience. And you know, me, I started playing video games when I was 5 years old. You know, I started on the Sega Mega Drive, right, during the 2D era, then moving on to the PS1, the 32-bit era, etc. So I caught that transition to 3D, but this back in the day was mind-blowing. It really was. GTA was the talk on the news. GTA was the talk of both the kids that were playing the game and the parents. It were controversial times, it is true, but that was just, you know, that happens with every generation. It had happened before with games, you know, like Mortal Kombat, but this was the new thing. At least for me and my friends, I guess that maybe we were too dorky, too geeky. Maybe we were very into this, but we almost felt the danger while actually playing the game. Again, we had the crime scene, we had the shooting, we had prostitution, we had a lot of side activities to do. I mean, completing this game, you know, even today, even with a guide, it's a challenge. And how can we talk about GTA without the driving? Again, I was never into driving games, but driving in GTA 3 was so different from everything else. I mean, it played really, really good, again, from back in the day. It was just fun. It was fun to drive in GTA 3. And, you know, just to create riots, create chaos, you know, running from the police. Again, from what I said in the beginning of the video, you know, maybe some influences from Driver 2 or the Driver series. But yeah, driving in GTA 3 was awesome. And I remember, you know, my parents, my father, he used to play a couple of video games with me back in the day. He was more of a, you know, of an adventure type of gamer, so to speak, even though he did enjoy racing games. But you know, when he saw me playing GTA 3, he thought it was a racing game, I guess. So watching my dad playing GTA 3 was nerve-wracking because he respected the traffic. And now looking back, it's kind of funny, I guess. But yeah, he used to just, you know, chill on GTA 3. And how many 13-year-olds can say that they played GTA 3 with their dad back in 2001? Well, I can, so thanks Dad. And of course, Dad, we also had cheat codes, and those were awesome. Full health, being invincible, all the weapons, infinite ammo, you know, the tank, even changing your avatar with NPCs. That was just an extra layer into the game. And you know, I finished this game so many times, both, you know, in terms of completionism, in terms of the story, but I also used to do roleplay within GTA 3, even without online gaming. I used to kind of create my own stories within the game. I used to make challenges for myself, and there was so much to do. And I think that that's why this game truly is the ground zero, the breaking game for open world video games. And yes, we are going to have the definitive trilogy coming out by Rockstar. Again, I already talked about that, you know, the remakes and the remasters here. I really wish that it was a full remake, or at least a remaster. Maybe in some ways it is, but still, if you still want to play the original game on your PlayStation 2 or on the computer, I think you're pretty much set to go. However, for the younger generations in the crowd, because I know that a lot of kids are into GTA, but most of you are probably playing GTA 5, both, you know, the standard game or the online game, GTA Online. But you know, if you really enjoy GTA, experience this one. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I think that GTA Vice City and San Andreas is my personal favorite. Those games are far, far superior to GTA 3. GTA 3 did age, both in terms of the graphics, the gameplay especially. It is a little bit clunky, but again, this is the ground zero. This is like, you know, a history lesson, not only to the GTA franchise, to crime simulators, but you know, to open world video games in general. So if you like this franchise, if you like this sorts of games, and if you never played it, please give a try to GTA 3. And that is pretty much it for this video, guys. I know that it was a rambling video, but I really just wanted to share, you know, my passion for GTA 3. Of course, that I was not going to give you guys a review or anything like that. Almost everybody, at least from my generation, play GTA 3. But yeah, I had to make this video. I had to talk about GTA 3 because it is a very important game for me. It is a very important game for Rockstar, for the video game industry. It was revolutionary, and in a lot of ways, again, I'm going to repeat myself, but even though it did age, I think that it's still very, very relevant in 2021. So the best way for me to end this video, I guess it is, you know, happy birthday GTA 3. And guys, please share your thoughts down below. I would love to hear from you. Let me know your experience with GTA 3. Did you play GTA 3 back in the day? Do you like it? Is it one of your favorites, or maybe your favorite in the series? How was it to play GTA 3 back in the day? And if you did play the original GTA games, what do you think about this transition to top view to fully 3D? Feel free to share your thoughts, guys, down below. And if you have a little bit of extra time, guys, feel free to follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, take care of the gaming community, and game a lot.